Now, if I told you I made these honey bun box cake out of box cake mix, would you believe me? Well, you should, because I may tell you a joke, but I promise you I will never tell you a lie. And I'm going to show you exactly how we made this. First thing we did was go ahead and get our box cake. And I'm using this butter golden cake mix right here. And what we're going to do is you're going to get us a bowl. And I don't know why, but I feel like I'm always grabbing a small bowl. I just think I like living on the edge. But we already started this, so we're going to go ahead and do it. We're going to go ahead and put our box cake mix in there. And we are not going to follow the box instructions. We're going to do this one a little bit different. After you get your cake mix in there, you're going to add 4 eggs. Yes, did you hear me good? 4 eggs. Once we get our 4 eggs in there, we are also going to add us a cup of sour cream. If you do not have sour cream, you can substitute your sour cream out for cream cheese, a whole block of cream cheese, 8 ounces, if you do not have any sour cream. In addition to our sour cream, we are going to go ahead and add us some butter. We're going to add 3/4 cup of butter. If you do not have butter, you can also sub this out for oil as well. Now, while we're getting our honey bun cake mix ready, you want to go ahead and put your oven on 350 degrees and start bringing that up to temperature while we're getting everything mixed together. Now, we're going ahead and adding in that sour cream. We already got our 4 eggs in there, and then we're just going to go ahead and add our butter and mix everything together. If you have a stand mixer, this is going to make this process so much easier. But if not, you can get this done with a spoon. Now, you are going to get a cake consistency, but it's not going to be like a normal cake consistency that you're used to, because we're not adding in any milk and we're not adding in any water like you would a normal cake you would do. But this is going to come out so delicious. All you have to do is trust the process. So now that we have all our ingredients in there, let's go ahead and mix everything together, and it is going to come out lighter and fluffier, in my opinion, than a normal cake would. Also, when you go to pour it in the pan, it is not going to pour like a normal cake would. It's going to definitely be like sort of like marshmallow fluff is what I can describe it as. That is just how it looked to me. So after I got everything mixed together, this is how it looked. It was light, it was fluffy, it was like marshmallow fluff that you would get. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and make sure everything is mixed together good and incorporated. You don't want to have no little bubbles, no little cake mix, none of that flour. You want to make sure we get all of that. Once all of that is gotten, it's time to go ahead and make our cinnamon sugar for our honey bun. Now the only thing you're going to need is some light brown sugar. After you get you some light brown sugar, you can go ahead and get you some cinnamon and mix those two together. Now I use cinnamon sugar because that's just what I had, and I mixed everything in together just like this. Now you can add a little bit or a lot of cinnamon. It all depends on your preference of how cinnamon you want these honey buns to be. Now we're going to go ahead and get our cake batter, and we're going to put it in a pan. Make sure you put a little bit of spray or a little bit of butter to grease the bottom of your pan, and then we're just going to go ahead and spread it out, because I already told y'all it's not going to have the same consistency as cake batter would. So we do have to go ahead and just spread it out a little bit. I'm just using the back of my spoon to spread it out, and once I get it spread out nice and even just like that, now we're going to go ahead and add in some of that cinnamon sugar that we made. You're going to add it right on top. You want to add just a little bit of your cake batter, because we are going to go ahead and add a second layer on top after we get our cinnamon sugar on there. So I'm just going to go ahead and add that in there. Add as little or as much as you like, and once you got as little or as much as you like on there, then you're going to go ahead and add that second layer on top. I decided that I wanted mine real cinnamony, so I went and short and used all of the cinnamon sugar that I made. I used the whole entire thing and put it right on top. Now that I have it covered with my cinnamon sugar, I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of my cake mix, and I'm going to put it right on top, and then I'm going to do the same method I did the first time and just use the spoon and spread it out until I get the top covered, or at least I get majority of it covered. Once I get majority of it covered, it should look something just like this. And now we're going to go ahead and put it in our oven. You want to bake it until it's cooked all the way through, and the way you know that it's cooked all the way through is once you believe your cake is done, you can go ahead and take a toothpick, stick it right in the middle. If that toothpick comes out clean, your cake is done. If not, you need to go ahead and put it back in here. Now while our cake is baking, I'm going to go ahead and make some icing, which only thing you need is some powdered sugar, and you are going to use some milk milk or you can use some water, mix that together until it comes to an icing consistency. Now you can use as little or as much as you want. I just drizzled it on there in just random spots and just let it, wherever it laid at, it stayed at. And now it was time to go ahead and start serving out this honey bun cake. And I tell you, it was so good. Now mine did break off a little bit because it was still hot, but this was so good.